And we're live.
Hello there.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome to Club Star Wars. Just a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Housekeeping to kick off with. As you may know, we're broadcasting for the past few weeks, 3 weeks, in more places than we've ever broadcast before. That's 3 different places on Facebook included in that. So that's my profile and in the Club Star Wars group, which you can find on Facebook. Now, I discovered the other day that if you comment on the video on my personal wall or in the group, we don't actually see it on the screen here. So if you go to YouTube or the Club Star Wars page version of the video, or on Periscope on Twitter or on Twitch, we'll see the comments on our screen from those locations. But yeah, it's just you've got to be quite specific about the Facebook thing. It's just a nice way of kind of advertising that we're live, I think, having it in various different Facebook locations. But there you go. And Stream Elements have just let us know that Club Star Wars is now live streaming talk show and podcast Club Star Wars on Twitch. So cool.
Excellent.
So it's been quite an eventful week. Excellent. So it's been quite an eventful past few days for Star Wars.
Has it? Why? What's happened?
Oh, nothing much really.
Been a pretty quiet week, hasn't it?
It's been a quiet week. Yeah, there's been no infighting or anything like that. But we're not going to get into that stuff just yet. I thought first of all we might kick off with our new feature, or the return of our new feature. Obviously, we're very happy and grateful to have Mickey Lewis with us last week, which took up a good portion of the chat. That was great fun.
What a cool guest.
Yeah, good lad. And we're going to by the way, just another note on that about the show. If you did watch it and then you were like, hang on a minute, I can't see it on Facebook anymore. So it was me. It was him.
No, it was him.
It was him.
It was Johnny.
It was Bloody Williams.
Yeah.
That's typical of him. That.
Do you know what it is? We've found this new thing, haven't we? We found this new trick that they've added to StreamYard, which is brilliant because we were trying to do it about a year or two ago, and it was like you have to buy another piece of equipment to like attach to your laptop, and then you can show on screen what you're showing on screen. Anyway, StreamYard have figured it out, so you just hit a button and we can share screen. Now it's brilliant because like stuff last week we were doing the Mickey interview, and Matt was pulling up stuff of the programs that he's been in, and we can see that and talk about it, and then go, oh look, there's me over there in the corner and stuff like that. Brilliant. That's me in the corner. But when Andy was talking about John Williams, I was like, let's just illustrate the point with the man himself. So we shared screen of a YouTube video of him conducting in, is it Vienna? The Vienna release?
Vienna,
yeah. So we showed a video of that. Didn't play the sound. Now for me, from a journalistic point of view, that is fair use.
Yeah.
Fair use. He's there on screen. We're talking about him. Andy specifically said, and you can buy the DVD or Blu-ray or the CD, and you should because it's brilliant.
Mm.
Then we got the big trigger from the blooming, what do they call them?
Daddy.
Yes.
The Facebook police are in your room.
Facebook police already. Daddy, you're under arrest. What do they call them? The algorithms.
Yeah.
And it pulled our Facebook video. It's still on YouTube, but Mickey was asking where he could, have the interview to share to us.
We jokingly said it was Matt's rendition of the Star Wars theme that he hummed, even though he only hummed like 3 notes. The algorithm.
Isn't it, right?
It's
so clever, isn't it? It's so clever.
I think it might have been, just wave.
Daddy.
Hello. Yes. Just wave hello.
Hey, Luna.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello, everybody. Right.
Hi, Luna.
So what I'm going to do for Mickey's purposes, when we get a chance, we're going to re-edit his interview.
Bye now.
Bye now.
Bye now.
I'm going to edit his interview out of the video and repost it so you can all see it and stuff like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Jolly good. Right, let's move along now with. Hang on, I think we've got some comments coming in. Brian, I still can't. I still can't get used to Brian's new picture. I'm like, where's?
Yeah.
She's used to seeing that cartoon.
Has
face,
he changed the way it does his name as well? It used to be
Oh,
lowercase b,
yeah.
higher-case r.
I did just
Yes.
notice that, because that's how I spelt it.
He has, absolutely. And I've changed the way I've changed our little layout to bubbles. So I don't know if you think the comments is clear.
It looks sharper, doesn't it?
It does look sharper. I quite like it. But
It's
we can
nice.
change it back. So anyway, there you go. Hello, Brian. And hello, Carl. Hey, all right, Carl.
Hey, Carl.
Yellow.
That's Carl from Donkey Stone. I'm sure we'll be discussing some of those things later. But just while Carl is on, at the very least,
I need to try some of this.
I just want to show this.
There it is.
Psychedelic.
Space Paranoid. Who's that?
Who's that?
Who's that
Who's that mug on the mug?
there? Not only did I get to name a beer with a bit of a Tron twist there, Space Paranoids, but it's got my face in it. There's Carl. There he is.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, get onto donkeystonebrewing.co.uk. You can buy yourself a can or 12 of Space Paranoids.
And do they ship? Do they ship all over the UK?
They ship nationally and locally. So yeah, if you spend
Fantastic.
20 if you spend 20 quid, you get local delivery for free within 15 miles of the brewery, and outside of that, you get national delivery. Cool.
Terms and conditions apply.
Terms and conditions apply.
Gotta be said.
And we've not got a vested interest in it. Facebook user. Hi guys, I'm not sure who you are, Facebook user, but hello to you.
It's Katie. It says on Facebook.
Hello, Katie.
Hello, Katie.
Katie, which Katie?
Katie Price.
Purvis.
Oh, hello.
My apologies if I've said your name wrong.
No, that is correct.
Okay.
Do you remember Katie? She commented on the show. I think we had a bit of back and forth with Katie when Andy Hurd was on.
That's right. Yes.
Katie is the daughter of Jack Purvis, who was in Star Wars, and Katie was also in Return of the Jedi as the Ewok mother. Ewok,
yeah.
Oh,
with
nice.
the little Ewok baby. And she's been in loads of stuff. So hello, Katie. Nice to see you.
Welcome,
again.
welcome.
You're going to come on the show one of these days. I'm going to drag you. You keep screaming onto the show one of these days because we love you. Right, so let's move along, and we're going to have a quick look here at our new feature, which is Force Focus. And here's another one that Matthew's prepared on the legendary bounty hunter Bossk.
Bossk, also known as Bossk Wazak Kradosk, was a male Trandoshan bounty hunter and the son of Kradosk, who was known for hunting Wookiees. During the Clone Wars, Bossk worked alongside fellow hunters Aurora Singh and Castas to mentor the orphaned Boba Fett. Their scheme to kill Fett's hated enemy, Mace Windu, resulted in Fett and Bosk's arrest. After a stint in prison, Bossk had worked in Crate's Claw, Fett's syndicate of bounty hunters, taking jobs for clients including Otua Blank and Quasite, and, later into the war, worked for their former companion from the Quasite mission, Asajj Ventress, to help free Quinlan Vos from Serennar. Immediately after his hatching, Bossk devoured the nest of eggs of his siblings and went on to claim that he was the sole survivor of his clutch. When Bossk reached maturity, he followed in the footsteps of his father to become the bounty hunter. Looking back on his childhood, Bossk regarded fathers as overrated and was uncomfortable with people asking questions about his early life. At some point during his career as a bounty hunter, Bossk obtained a modified YV-666 light freighter that was named the Hound's Tooth. This versatile ship became his main transport during his career as a bounty hunter. After the rise of the Empire, Bossk continued to be one of the biggest names in the bounty hunting business, despite eventually drifting apart from Boba and working mostly solo. At one point, he travelled to the outer rim planet of Lothal to collect a bounty on the Dug criminal Gronson Takaro, who had jumped bail. During his trip, Bossk also joined forces with the Force-sensitive street urchin Ezra Bridger to stop the corrupt Imperial Security Bureau Lieutenant Jenks. Bossk also took part in hunting Wookiees that were natural enemies of his species, particularly growing a distaste for the Wookiee Chewbacca and his partner Han Solo. Following the Battle of Hoth, Bossk would be called upon by Darth Vader to find and capture Solo, Chewbacca, and the Millennium Falcon. As a bounty hunter, Bossk was a physically fit and skilled fighter. He developed a fearsome reputation as an effective hunter of Wookiees, a species he shared the Kashyyyk system. While Bossk often wielded a mortar gun, he was also skilled in unarmed combat. On one occasion, he took on 2 gladiatorial fighters and bested both of them in a fight. Bossk was a moody and serious, yet ruthless and efficient bounty hunter who believed in upholding the bounty hunter code at any cost. He did not like other bounty hunters or governments interfering with any of his bounties. While Bossk tended to work alone, he was also capable of working with others. As a businessman, Bossk was also known to keep his promises to the letter of the law. He was also known as a fair and honest combatant. Bossk was a member of the Bounty Hunters Guild, an institution that regulated the bounty hunting trade. During the Clone Wars, Bossk teamed up with fellow bounty hunters Aurora Singh and the Klatooinian Castas to mentor the young Boba Fett and assist him with his vendetta against renowned Jedi Master Mace Windu. After Fett destroyed the engines of the Venator-class Star Destroyer Endurance, making it crash on Vancor, the bounty hunters went inside and took 3 hostages: Admiral Killian, Commander CT-411, otherwise known as Pottons, and a clone naval officer. Bossk remained by their ship to watch over the hostages. However, the trio retreated after watching Windu's fighter escape them by making a jump to hyperspace. Throughout his career, Bossk developed a hatred for Chewbacca and Solo. He battled them at the Suge Seas of Erep 2, sabotaged their efforts to construct a Wookiee colony on Gondola 4, damaged the Hound's tooth chasing them through the plasma flows of the Zusi hypertunnel, and engaged them in a fight at Jerden Spaceport, where he lost his ship, Bite Mark. His frustrations were compounded as his father, Kradosk, began to doubt his abilities. Bossk was one of 6 hunters hired by Darth Vader to hunt down and capture Han Solo. As he predicted, 2 of the other hunters were Zuckuss and 4-LOM. However, he failed to collect on this bounty, with his old partner, Boba Fett, beating him to the target. Bossk first appeared in the 1980 film Star Wars Episode 5 The Empire Strikes Back. Prior to the release of the movie, he appeared in a mail-in flyer that revealed his role in the movie. In The Empire Strikes Back, Bossk was played by the actor Alan Harris, who reprised his role in Star Wars Episode 4 Return of the Jedi. Bossk was voiced by D. Bradley Baker in the animated series Star Wars The Clone Wars. His animation model was redesigned between his appearances in Season 2 and 4 to more closely resemble his film counterpart, as the more colourful designs for the Trandoshans in Season 3 caused the show's staff to regret how simple his appearance was. In the 4th draft of The Empire Strikes Back screenplay, Bossk was described as a slimy, tentacled monster, with 2 huge bloodshot eyes in a soft, baggy face. Bossk's outfit was actually recycled from a 1966 Doctor Who serial titled The 10th Planet. The suit itself was actually a high-altitude Windac pressure suit, a suit used by the British Royal Air Force in the 1960s. Before the cancellation of the Clone Wars TV series, Bossk was set to make an appearance during the 4-episode arc starring Boba Fett and Cad Bane. In a clip revealed during the animated Origins and Unexpected Fates panel at Celebration Orlando in 2017, Bossk and Embo were seen siding with Bane during a standoff between Fett and other bounty hunters. Bossk then suggests that Bane give Fett his chance to prove himself. Writer John Kasdan originally desired to include Bossk in the 2018 Star Wars anthology film Solo, A Star Wars Story. However, Kasdan ultimately concluded that there was no place for Bossk in the film. In Kasdan's drafts for Solo, Bossk was part of the Cloud Riders and served as Enfys Nest's second-in-command, only to abandon her by the end of the film. Though Kasdan fought to keep this scene, he was overruled. Well, that's it for this week's character review. Join us next time as we take a look at another character from a galaxy far, far away.
Like a Bossk. I enjoyed that. Excellent. Yeah, that's it's gotta be said. That could make a really badass movie.
Yeah.
Bossk story. There's so much in there. It's
Like,
really rich, isn't it?
Similar to the Predator or something like that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously, with today's technology, they can move the character on a lot easier than, you know. It was kind of awkward in Empire Strikes Back, wasn't it? Particularly the arms.
Yeah.
However, it was portrayed. Also, the guy in the suit was the late great Alan Harris.
Yeah.
Who of course was also the prototype Boba Fett, and he's a guard in Empire Strikes Back.
Yes, that's right.
There's so many. There's like loads of roles. I know I've wheeled them off before, but I'm kind of. Yeah.
Did you get to meet him?
I did. Yeah, I did get to meet him a couple of times. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Very nice guy. He gave me his number and everything. He was really
nice.
cool. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so if I'm just looking at the chronology correctly, there's no way we can. Do we know if he's dead or anything? Is there any way he can be introduced into Mando? Do you think?
Is he still around?
He's still around. Yeah. He's not been killed off.
Neither canon or Legends. He's still around, I think.
Yeah. He can show up in Andor. He can show up in Mandalorian.
That might be
Obi-Wan. Any of those, I suppose. You know.
Yeah.
There was something in Legends. I don't know if it's transferred over. Obviously, Matt just mentioned it, that Bossk hated Wookiees and just but in Legends he got a kick out of killing them and skinning them. I'm like, that's pretty gross and gruesome for Star Wars, but yeah, but that's not in the Disney canon. But it may be in the future. I don't know. So yeah, Bossk. He's second to Boba Fett, I believe, in the most feared bounty hunter in the galaxy.
Yeah,
I don't know where the Mandalorian stands in that ranking, because it's weird. In the Mandalorian, he shows up looking like Boba Fett to most people, because they're like, the first time we saw that armor was Boba Fett, and then Django, and then the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, is he called? Is that his name?
Yeah, that's right.
So we see him turn up, and everyone's like, "Oh, you're the best in the galaxy, Mando." And it's like Boba Fett's like, "What?" We've been saying for 40 years that Boba Fett's the best, and then this guy shows up we've not seen before. So yeah.
Oh, my beer.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what they did in season 2 when Fett just appeared. But Bossk is mentioned in Solo. His name is mentioned.
Is it mentioned?
Do you know when they're around the campfire and Han gets his... I know Paddy won't remember this. Matt, you've only seen it once, haven't you?
No, I've seen it about 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know where Han gets his gun and they're all around that fire?
Yeah.
I can't remember all the names of the characters. What's the main guy called in the group? The actor's name?
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson's girlfriend says on a far shot, why don't we get the something sisters or Bossk? But they went with Han and Chewie instead. So he is mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the young Kasdan really wanted Bossk in the film.
Yeah,
by the sounds of it, you know, he fought really hard for it, but in the end, was talked out of it. Yeah.
Well, I think
there's too many of these characters showing up. Let's just keep it.
The thing is, it would have been criticised if they went too far the other way, because Red Letter Media in their Solo rant said, very surprised that there's no Jabba, there's no Boba Fett. They mention Bossk, but they don't show him, and it's quite impressive.
Well, the way Solo ends is if it's leaning towards the whole Jabba.
Oh yeah, he's mentioned.
Thing, you know,
there's a Jabba on Tatooine.
Yeah,
all that. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that film though, because one of my friend here. He doesn't want me to talk about it. Stop talking about Solo.
Stop talking about Solo, Star Wars shit pile. Okay. No, it's fine. You know, you can talk about it and extol its virtues.
It's just in terms of the Bossk being in the movies. All we've got is the scene in Empire and mentioned in Solo, and that's it. That's all we've got in terms of the theatrical Star Wars movies.
Yeah,
I think the only kind of thing you're up against would be how, like, if it was a big focus, is how to get past the language barrier, so to speak. And I mean, I know you kind of get through that with Chewie, but you only hear him say like, it's like really
in the movies,
low and guttural. And how did they get around that in?
Well, in the TV show, he could speak, couldn't he?
Oh,
he just has the growl with the voice, doesn't he? So he's more reptile-esque.
Like sort of hisses and growls, but
they'd probably cast
illegible.
I think it was Bradley D. Baker. Is that his name?
Yeah,
I think he'd be a fine choice for the voice.
Yeah.
It works well. I think he voices him in the Star Wars Battlefront game as well.
It does, yeah. That's right.
Okay. That'll be good. Yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to see more Bossk. I always felt there was kind of, even in Empire Strikes Back, there's a little arc there, isn't there?
Yeah.
The bounty hunter's quest. Like we get to see kind of what happens with Boba, but the rest of them. I mean,
you could almost make that into a spin-off.
Totally.
The bounty hunter's quests to find Solo, and each individual bounty hunter, you follow them through the galaxy on
like a Rogue One thing.
Like a Rogue One thing.
A Rogue One for the Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
I've just collapsed in excitement. It's exciting, but it's also quite dangerous. It's scary. I don't want to mess in with that Empire Strikes Back.
Well, you don't have to mess with the actual storyline itself.
Yeah.
It's just the other bounty hunters.
Yeah,
sure. Maybe even Boba, but to a certain degree, just use like.
Well, the bounty hunters looking for him is the whole thing that drives Empire. Why Han has to leave in the beginning. So it's a big part of the story. It's not a small little thing just to have. It's not just what they call it, plot armor, like a plot device. Sorry. It was a growing thing from A New Hope. That's why the original trilogy is just so well written. It's just so good.
Yeah,
but we could sit here for the rest of our lives talking about how good it is.
I'm sure we
will.
But
we've got other things to talk about. I'm sure we will.
I'm sure we will. We have got other things to talk about. We're going to do a little bit of Star Wars news next. But first of all, I just want to play a little bit of something else for you. Technically, this is related to Star Wars, but some of you out there may know that I have been involved with some conventions in the past around the Harry Potter and Game of Thrones and that kind of thing. And some of my friends who I worked on with that have a movie escape room, a movie-themed escape room in Stockport called Moviescape, and obviously, like everyone else with the COVID situation, businesses with the COVID situation where they've had to close down, it put them in quite a lot of financial stuck in that regard. But then they also had a flood recently, which caused them even more havoc. So they're kind of clinging on by the skin of their teeth, so to speak. So our friend James Payton, who was Frank Longbottom in Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, and was ISO Hitler in Captain America: The First Avenger, has done a little pledge for us. So I wouldn't mind, if you don't mind, just have a little tune in on this, and if you can possibly help Moviescape, please do so.
Hello, movie escapers. It's me, James Payton. You know, the fellow who introduces the videos before you go into the escape. Yes, you remember. Now, we've given you some laughs over the years, haven't we? And of course some tears. Maybe just a couple of little scares. But now, Movie Escape need your help. Yes, that's right, your help. The flood, COVID-19, it's been a very difficult time. So why don't you go to the link below and donate so they can get back on their feet and When times are ready, you can go back. Why don't you do that now? Thanks very much. Your support is much appreciated. And if you don't support, well, I'll be seeing you very soon, won't I? Behind your sofa. Lots of love.
Brilliant.
Good old James. I do apologise. There kind of wasn't a link that appeared on that video, which I kind of expected there to be. But I will grab the donation link, which is, yes, it's a crowdfunder. And I'm going to share that link on screen. 2 seconds. Oh, not that one.
I got excited then.
Because that was about Darth Vader.
Yeah, I just see the words and I'm there. I'm like, I'm sold. Take my money.
Take my money and run.
Making it rain, making it rain.
Right.
Last week we were looking at the life-size versions of all the characters we worked with at like
yeah.
$7,500 each.
Drooling.
Yeah.
Drooling. Yeah. I still want that Carbonite Han Solo.
I did pull this down from upstairs just to show you later, Andy. It's the little Vader with a helmet comes off. And
oh, fantastic.
Sick.
You know what you should do? You should send the invite to your phone and then you can do a close-up of things with your phone as a second thing. Right. There we go. So I'm going to leave that along the screen for a little while now while we get into the news. So as you've just seen the Moviescape Pledge, that's the donation link there for their crowdfunder. So that's www.crowdfunder.co.uk/help-us-recover-from-devastating-flooding. So yeah, whatever you can give, help the guys out there at Moviescape. Just checking out on the comments there. Brilliant. Oh, thanks, Carl. I bet you're talking about. Are we talking about the Moviescape video or Matt's review of Bossk? Probably both.
Everything.
Thanks. Everything. Thanks very much, Carl. Right. So we're going to jump in onto some of this. Lovely jubbly. I'm just going to leave that whizzing along the bottom. I know we kind of normally do our news. Not news. Yeah, we normally do our little news runs along the bottom there, don't we? However, that's what I'm looking for. Let's start out with. Can we start out with Ruin, please? Can we start out with Ruin, Matt? Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. Right, let's do that. So, Star Wars news. There he is. Everybody's favorite Star Wars director, Rian Johnson. Do you know? I might have to pull up a tweet in a little bit, which made me laugh very, very hard. Anyway, Rian Johnson will oversee the next Star Wars trilogy. So he keeps saying. Rian Johnson is still set for his planned Star Wars trilogy, according to a reporter. Author Sarah, is that Sarah spelt wrong, or Saraya Wilson?
Saria?
Is it Saria?
Not sure.
Anyway. Saria Wilson shared on Tuesday that during her recent Zoom interview with the director, he assured her. Sounds like she was very worried. Do you know that? She was worried that it was going to happen. He assured her
very concerned
that he was still the man behind the new movies. Not 1 mile behind, not 10 miles behind, but 100 miles behind the new movies. Anyway,
it's way overhead in the distance.
I'm going to do it. But Disney has yet to confirm that Rian, who directed 2017 The Last Jedi, is taking the lead. Yeah, Disney don't want to confirm it. Rian just keeps confirming it. Anyway, I'm going to post this now because I can see that I'm going to get a lot of requests. Yes, Rian's Star Wars trilogy is still on, Wilson tweeted. No dates or timelines because he has other projects going on, but it is happening. That is all I know about it. The interview was done via Zoom, and the writer who works for USA Today shared a photo from the chat. There was no mention of Johnson's trilogy during Disney's Investor Day event in December 2020. That's probably because it's not happening. He was announced as the director of the new trilogy in 2017, before The Last Jedi came out. But when the film had mixed reviews, he was believed to have been quietly let go. However, Johnson has always maintained that he was working on a new trilogy. In 2017, he said he was on board for sure. One story told over 3 movies. I can believe that he could stretch one story over 3 movies. Go new places, meet new folks, come up with a new story to tell in the Star Wars universe. Concentrate heavily on a casino planet. The sky's the limit, and they really responded to that. In 2018, Game of Thrones co-creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss were supposed to work on the trilogy, but then they dropped out. Johnson told The Observer in 2019 that he wants the new Star Wars film to not focus on the Skywalker family. I think the fun and challenging part of it is to dive in, figure out what's exciting, and then figure out what it's going to be, Johnson said in the interview. We're going to do something that steps beyond the legacy characters. What does that look like? To me, the blue sky element of it is what was most striking about it. I know the way that I'm coming at it, and that's what's fun about it. For everyone in George Lucas's films is figuring out what's the next step. It really makes you think and figure out what the essence of Star Wars is for me and what that will be like moving forward. More recently, Johnson revealed he'd be thrilled to work more in the Space Saga's big screen universe. He told Bang Showbiz, "We'll see. I'm still talking to Lucasfilm. They're figuring out what they're doing. We'll see what happens. I'd be thrilled if it happens. I'd be working on my own stuff too." Johnson was blamed for making The Last Jedi too different. And he said after the film came out, he wished he had more input from fans. Really, touchscreen? Is really nice, and that's something on Star Wars you can't test Star Wars movies for a lot of reason. I've always hated test screens, and when we were making Star Wars, at a certain point in the process, you're like, God, I would give my left arm to put this in front of 300 people in Burbank and just see how it plays. Or even, just ask it with a run it past a Canon expert.
Yeah,
an idea. And that is all. That is all.
They did run it by a Canon expert.
Yeah.
Or someone. I don't say he's a Canon expert. Disney do.
Who's that? What's his
Pablo.
name?
Oh, Pablo.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't forget that story. It's not just Ryan Johnson. There's a story team. Don't forget that.
There is.
Oh, crying out loud.
Pablo's the head of it, or is he just one of the main ones? Not sure.
I think he could be up there. Yeah, I'm not sure. But they all need to go. They need new blood in there.
Brian's just raised the issue on pronunciation, which is kind of quite apt that you should know this, Brian. So it's Sir Ryan Wilson. Damn right it is. Of course it's Sir Ryan.
Well, yeah, and he also says, Ryan's got other projects going on, like emptying the bins.
Well, I think he's working on a
Knives Out sequel.
Knives Out sequel, isn't it?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, has to be said. It was.
Gotta be honest.
It was good. Knives Out was good.
I've not seen it, but
I knew you wouldn't see it. It's actually worth a watch, though, Matt. I did
brilliant.
I might give it a chance.
Does it also prove to be the final performance of the late Christopher Plummer?
Oh well, yeah, could be.
Is it? Worth a look for that alone. Anyway, go on.
No, I was just going to say, honestly, why would Ryan Johnson want to go back? Really? But at this point, why did Disney and Lucasfilm do anything that they do? Really, it's beyond me. I can't figure them out. If I'm honest, it's yeah. So who knows?
Who knows? Thoughts, Andrew?
Well, from a business, let's put the business hat on. Ryan, I know The Last Jedi didn't make as much as The Force Awakens. It was about half, but it's still a massive profit. What was it 1.7 billion? That's a fucking lot of money when the film probably only cost 250 million to make. Knives Out cost 40 million to make. It took 311 million at the box office. From a business point of view, Ryan is box office success. Everything he's made has made money, a lot of money for these companies. To be fair, that article says that Disney haven't announced that he's doing it, and I don't know what they mean by that. Maybe just reconfirming, because they have said he's doing it once. But then Bob Iger, say it, Paddy.
Bob Iger.
He said after Solo that Star Wars films are taking we're taking a break from it. Yeah, so it didn't. That doesn't. And everybody jumped on the bandwagon on that and said, "Oh, they've sacked Rian Johnson." I'm like, no, he didn't say that.
No.
But we've had three.
When you actually look at it pragmatically and see what they actually said, and it's not been.
Sorry, Matt.
I'm going to say he's not been let go officially.
No, not officially, but he could have been.
Yeah.
But if he had been, they would have let him know. Really, surely they'd have let him know on a personal level, you know.
Well, it would look like the fans who don't like Last Jedi and don't like him had won then, and I don't think Disney would want to do that. They want to save face.
They don't have to announce it, but you can tell him one-on-one.
True. But how many trilogies have been announced? Because after that Iger comment, there was that campaign where it said Star Wars 2023, then 2025 and 2027. Forgive me if I got the numbers wrong, but it's round about that. And I was like, they didn't say whose trilogy that was. And I was like, was that Ryan's? And then
it was going to be the Game of Thrones guys, wasn't it?
That's right. Yeah. So they've actually announced either 2 trilogies or 3. And then
one of them are Ryan's.
And the first one was Ryan's. Crazy. But I would like him to do more Star Wars, but from a fandom point of view, I don't want him to, because it was bad enough what happened in 2017 with that split. With the fan base.
A lot of people blame Rian Johnson for the split in the fandom.
I don't. I blame.
I know you don't. Yeah.
I blame whoever's at the top.
Well, yes, yeah.
And if we're going for writers, attack Kasdan and JJ as well.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with Luke Skywalker either. I'm not going to go into this rant, but it's not just. It's not. The thing is that I'm not a friend of Rian Johnson. I'm not trying to defend him. He don't need me to do that.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Andrew.
I'm scoring Knives Out too. There you go. And I'm scoring his trilogy. Bye.
Oh, you shill.
Yeah.
Oh, you Disney shill, Andrew. Anyway, go on.
Yeah, I'll drive past in my Lamborghini.
Yes.
don't mind me. I'm just a shill going past in my Lamborghini.
Like Ryan, baby.
But yeah, there's a story. You got a story group. If you're attacking Rian Johnson, fine. It's a free world. Do whatever you want. Blame him, but just don't forget there's a team of people at the top. You've got Iger, you've got Kathleen Kennedy, you got Ryan as well, and then you got JJ and Kasdan. They were writers as well, and they didn't know what to do with Luke Skywalker, and they put him on that stupid island, disconnected from the Force. Not Ryan. He took over after that.
Yeah,
that's all I said.
Well, you know what I think happened was, I mean, Ryan basically had the free for all with that movie.
Mm-hmm.
He could write and direct it, and Kathleen Kennedy basically said, "Yeah, do that. You're in control. This is your baby. You do it." And I'll never forget when Kennedy came out at the Star Wars celebration, bigging him up. You know, like, this is like one of the best Star Wars movies ever made. Ryan's done an absolutely fantastic job. Blah 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 blah. I look back on that and think, did she really mean that, or was she just selling it? You know? Did she know, maybe it's not going to do as well as I hoped, but I've got to sell this? You know, and a lot of people love it, don't get me wrong, and nothing against people who do love it. We've all got different opinions about these things, but
it
did split the fandom. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about
And why he would want to come back into that, I don't know in the first place.
that. True. Got some
I
comments
wouldn't.
coming in.
No, I wouldn't.
Colin. Hi, Colin. It's the fault of the executives who sidelined Lucas. It's a good point as well.
Yeah.
They completely threw his story outlines away, didn't they?
It didn't sound like they were good either. So,
Well, yeah.
a lot of people are like Lucas, and I'm like, yeah. Where were you guys when George was being slandered for the prequels?
Yeah.
Because that guy got a lot of shit. The amount of shit that Ryan's got isn't that far off what George and Jake Lloyd got as well.
Yeah, true. Colin,
but retrospectively, I don't think it's the same.
No, a lot of it was from the press back then. With
defending George Lucas camp, because I know he's a prequels fan as well. But
yeah, you mean like the critics were attacking George a lot?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
George said in an interview that critics don't understand cinema, they don't understand how it's made and things like that, like proper powering them off. So he said their opinion doesn't matter, and I was like, wow, go on, George, you tell them.
Yes. And it doesn't. At the end of the day, if you like a movie and you know one of these critics doesn't, then who cares?
Yeah. Creative executives. Yeah.
Creative executives. Yeah.
That's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing, Carl. I was having a conversation the other night as well about this, and with somebody who's worked in, on some level in the film industry, and he was just like, it's mainly the executive who ruin the movies because it's the whole
ruined what?
Ruin movie. It ruined a lot of.
Oh
movies.
Yeah, it's like the Zack Snyder situation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's the too many cooks.
Well, do you remember the George interview with what's that guy called? Charlie? Is it Charlie Rose who interviews him?
Charlie Rose, yeah.
Yeah, he interviews he said that horrible white slavers comment, that interview where it was like an hour long.
Yeah.
In that, George says it's like professional gambling with the executives, and he says they give you $200 million and they say we want you to turn that into $500 million. Yet back in the day, in the 70s, they'd take risks on people. So Alan Ladd Jr., who's the executive at Fox, who represented George Lucas before Star Wars, he took a gamble. He said, I think your project is not very good. And he said, I'm not going to lie and say Mark Hamill, Carrie Fisher, and Harrison Ford are great choices. He said, I didn't know. He said, but I thought George was talented. And he said, I invested in George, not Star Wars, but it paid off.
It paid off.
But George said Star Wars was the thing that stopped that, because now all the movies have to make loads of money, so they don't take too many risks. So that's and then you cut to 2013 onwards, and it's the nostalgia wave was hitting everything, like The Force Awakens, Jurassic World. They were soft reboots. Is the phrase that got coined. They're not remakes, but they're not the sequels, which technically makes it a soft reboot. They're also not very daring in their storytelling, are they? The rehashes, like you say, reboots. Of course, 2.2 billion for The Force Awakens, and Jurassic World.
So it's relying on the member berries,
Well, of course it is, but Jurassic Park and Star Wars, the original movie, made a lot of money.
Yeah.
So if they essentially ripped off those ideas and made a new movie out of it and called it a soft reboot, it was going to make loads of money. Of course, it was going to be successful.
Yeah.
But it's all about money. It's a business at the end of the day, and I understand that. But fans see the art; they don't see the money. But when the art's good, they're more than happy to give their money to it. As am I, and I know you two guys are as well.
I mean, that definitely showed us in 2019 what was the biggest movie. It was The Joker.
What financially?
Joker was the biggest movie, and that was a movie that took some risks, I think.
Did that take more money than The Rise of Skywalker? Because Rise of Skywalker was over $1 billion.
I think it did.
Oh, wow. I wouldn't be surprised because it is a better movie.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, again, still, I've not seen it yet. I know that's ridiculous. But
What, Rise of Skywalker? Don't bother.
Joker.
Joker. But from my point of view,
No,
That's really-
Endgame was the biggest.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, Joker wasn't too far behind. I mean, when you weigh up how much was spent on making the movie and how much it earned,
It's the seventh, Joker's seventh after Aladdin, Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Frozen 2, Toy Story 4, and The Lion King. I forgot about all those films.
I did too. Yeah.
Joker
Well, still-
didn't. I remember Joker. I was like,
So what was the budget for them? You know, that's another
Joker
thing.
was like less than 100 million.
Yeah.
It was
But
tiny.
that film took risks. That was, it was a character study, and it's one you can go back and watch again and again. It's
and I have.
fantastic. Yeah.
Well,
So
for me,
good.
that's the thing. It's like that's really heartening for me, and I don't know for you guys, is that as a huge fan of 70s movies and that kind of character studies, dark storytelling.
Yeah.
Actually taking the time for people to talk and
Yeah.
listen.
Like Taxi Driver. It's like
Exactly.
that.
Yeah. And that's what it's great. I know that you were.
It was Taxi Driver on its sleeve as well. It doesn't try to hide it either.
No.
It fully acknowledges that's what it is.
Mm.
It also, I felt when I saw the trailer, and I don't know if you got this impression from it, but I think it's kind of like a flip on it. But for me, when I first saw the trailer, and obviously De Niro's in it, and the Joker's trying to get on his show, I was like, is De Niro playing Rupert Pupkin from?
He does have a different name. There's no reference to it, I believe, other
It
than
would have been genius if they'd have just done that anyway. That would have been such a cool flip.
Yeah.
they might not have been able to because of rights issues. Maybe they wanted to.
Yeah, they probably would have had to give. I can't remember if it was Scorsese or not. That movie. What was it called? The King of Marvin Gardens, isn't it? Or is that the one with? Is that the one?
I don't know.
Jack Nicholson.
I'm not too sure.
I'm gonna have to look that up because that's gonna really annoy me. Rupert Pupkin it's King of Comedy. Yeah, King of Marvin Gardens is the Nicholson one I've not seen. Yeah, King of Comedy is Jack Nicholson, is directed by Scorsese, and in it, De Niro is basically like a comedian who kind of is on the edge to make it, and he basically takes the TV host hostage. The TV host.
It's definitely
who is Jerry Lee Lewis, actually. Sorry, Jerry Lewis, not Jerry Lee Lewis. He hasn't got a great balls of fire.
Was that story true about Joker with Jared Leto, where he heard that they were doing the Joker film? That's the one we're talking about, the 2019 Joker film, and he wasn't that interested because he was going to do this small character study. It was going to be a small character study that wasn't the big Batman franchise. But then when it came out, he was really annoyed at how successful it was, and he was like, "Actually, I want a cut, but something along those lines."
Yeah.
Did you read about this?
I didn't read that.
I don't know if it was fake news or not, but from what I've read about Jared Leto before, it probably didn't sound too much far from the truth to me.
Well, maybe he's going to get his second chance with the Snyder Cut doing his
Yeah, apparently. Yeah, looks like he's in there. There's another comment. Yeah, I know you could tell who was commenting on Facebook before, Andy. I don't know if you still can. But we've got a comment. Aloha, need a new Blade Runner. I'm always up for anything about Blade Runner. I think, we got away. We definitely got away with Blade Runner 2049. It was fantastic. I don't know where they'd go next. I'd be interested to go somewhere completely away from the Deckard arc, and just explore something within the Blade Runner universe.
Sorry, say that again, please. Did you actually just say that?
I did.
Did Paddy O'Hare just say that?
He did.
Scrap Indiana Jones 5, Paddy O'Hare's over it all.
No. I just think
almost like saying I'd like to see Jurassic Park but without the dinosaurs. Just walking around.
Can you tell who it was who said that, Andy? Can you tell?
What's that?
Who said aloha, I need a new Blade Runner?
Oh, Dave Blackwell.
Oh, it was Dave. Hey, Dave, over in America.
Hello,
Is
Dave.
he in Hawaii by any chance?
Hey?
Is he in Hawaii by any chance?
No, he's in It's kind of outside New York.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of like he actually lives. He's pretty much in Amity from Jaws, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Martha's Vineyard.
It looks like that. I know that. I think it was Jaws 2 that we shot near where Dave lives,
right?
And he's in there in the background somewhere.
I'm actually with Paddy on this, that they don't actually need to do the Deckard thing. It's not like Star Wars, like massive, but there is a big world there, like origin stories, like where Tyrell came up with the idea or something like that. You know?
Yeah, I think you could explore some of the stuff around Wallace as well. That was an interesting character.
Yeah.
But you know the Paris, Deckard's last moment, just touching that glass was just so heartbreakingly beautiful. I was like, I don't need to know anything else now. Just leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Well, Red Letter Media said I was watching their review of Blade Runner and Blade Runner 2049, and they were saying about the original Blade Runner that Deckard is the least interesting character.
Yeah. There's a big downer on Deckard now, isn't there? Saying
I don't agree with that. I think I'm saying Harrison carries the story. I'm not saying Deckard does. Harrison carries the film.
He carries every film he's in. Anyway,
Vangelis also carries the film.
Oh, he certainly does. Yeah, everything's perfect in that film. Everything's perfect.
Making of the replicants.
Making the replicants would be good.
So that's Dave again.
That's Dave. Kirk Boyd. Aren't they putting Leto in the new stuff?
He's been in all of them, hasn't he? As the Joker, the new little cinematic universe they've done. So Leto is the Joker of the cinematic universe, whereas
they've changed in the
Joaquin
tattoos.
Yeah, he does look a lot different in that new trailer.
In that new trailer, he actually looks like something from a horror movie. Like he's wearing some sort of apron. Looks like he's been hacking some, just or something. You know what I mean?
They might be trying to reinvent him because of the backlash of him in the Suicide Squad and what's the other film with the Joker in it? Is it Birds of Prey? Is that what it's called?
Was he in that? Yeah.
Was he in that? I've not seen that one.
I've not seen it either, but I don't think he's in it.
Anyway, this has got nothing to do with stuff.
Stop talking about Batman.
I keep saying though, it'd be so much fun for us to do a show about completely other movies.
Well, we're nerdy on lots of things.
Club Star Wars Plus, like.
Really? Do you want to associate with that kind of branding?
Plus everything else.
Cancel Club Star Wars Plus.
Yeah,
it's going to be $5.99 a month for us to listen to us talk about obscure movies from the 70s.
We're going to go and film in China.
We'll have no subscribers. Anyway, so we're going to do. I think we're going to do another piece of news. Before we get out of here. So, hang on. Dave's got one more comment. Oh yes, Killer Clowns from Outer Space meets Deckard. That I would be up for, Dave.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Isn't that just Blade Runner? Because they've come from outer space, haven't they? They've come back from the colonies in space.
Yeah, that's true.
The Nexus 6.
Only because they're banned on Earth. They were on Earth before that, though, weren't they?
They were created on Earth, and then they get shipped out to do work.
Yeah.
Attack ships on fire. All that.
Yeah. They're all that.
Is it Shoulder of Orion?
On the Shoulder of Orion.
Yeah, but do you know that speech? You've got an equivalent there. If they do a Star Wars, so Ben Kenobi saying, "Did you fight in the Clone Wars?" "Yes, I was once a Jedi Knight, the same as your father." All that speech. And what did it become? This whole thing in Attack of the Clones, and it become its own TV show, and it becomes the best thing in Star Wars ever. So there's an equivalence there. You could have the other side of Blade Runner off-world. Off-world colonies.
Yeah, I'd love to see the off-world colony stuff. That'd be awesome.
There you go.
That would be awesome.
There you go. We should be executives by now. Cancelled! Okay, so...
What were we cancelled for?
just for everything that we've
Okay.
ever said, will say,
All right.
or will
Okay.
ever say. So we're not going to dwell too much on this. We don't want to get into it massively. Everyone's talked about it. It's been talked to death. A couple of
The
us
Last
have talked about
is this Last Jedi again? It sounds like Last Jedi.
Well, we're going to still get into that next week.
Okay.
Yes. So let's get people's. Dave's got another good point there. Write a script. I guess we should.
I have actually been. This is so sad. I went for a long drive the other day, and I was thinking of a Mandalorian script, and I was acting out. I was acting out in my head, and I'm like, this would be amazing. A flashback to to the Boba Fett describes Mandalore as the Empire turned it to glass. Yes. And I just imagined an entire episode flashback to the Empire invading Mandalore after Order 66 and really struggling to take Mandalore, and then they send all the best admirals out and they just ruin the fleets and everything, but eventually they end up summoning Darth Vader to take out Mandalore.
Oh yeah.
that was my idea, but I was going through all that. Anyway, fan script.
I'd like to see that.
I'd
like to see that.
I'm sold.
So,
do you know how I got there? You probably thought, he was thinking about Mandalore. I was like, no, Darth Vader, and I worked backwards. How can I get him? How can I get him in something?
It all starts with Darth Vader.
Well, but he's the main character of all Star Wars. Changed my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
He's the center of gravity in Star Wars. Anyway, what's this news?
He's the center of gravity. Well, nobody said about it. Well, first of all, just let you know, I'm now having a track, if not now dipper, which sounds.
It looks fruity. Is it fruity?
It's a fruity wee number.
It's got
peach in it.
It's got a beautiful peach nose. Peach on the nose, yeah. Stone fruits, very nice. Ooh, that's strong. Just how I like it. Right. So this is from. This is taken from Mail Online. This is the news that nobody's been talking about. Fired Star Wars actress Gina Carano flips off photographer as she's spotted for the first time since Disney axed her from The Mandalorian in McCarthy-esque crusade against conservatives. Now you can tell that's a headline from the Daily Mail. Certainly mentioning the conservatives. Anyway, Gina Carano was fired from The Mandalorian over controversial Instagram posts. Really? I thought it was Twitter posts. Anyway, she controversially compared the Holocaust to current US political climate, or she at least retweeted something that could be perceived as that. The actress 38 stepped out for the first time since the axing on Tuesday. Distributors say Hasbro has cancelled production of Cara Dune action figures. Time to order a Cara Dune action figures. They'll become collectible pretty soon, I reckon, folks.
Yeah, I don't think you can get them now.
Yeah, I've seen they're sold out everywhere, haven't they?
Yeah, I was looking.
Oh, well. I'm sure they'll turn up when the cons finally appear. So, Gina Carano has been seen for the first time after being fired from the Disney Plus series The Mandalorian. The actress and mixed martial arts veteran 38, who starred as Cara Dune in Star Wars franchise spin-off, was axed last week over controversial social media posts, I'm going to say, comparing Jews and the Holocaust to conservatives in the US. She stepped out on Tuesday for the first time since the firing and flipped off the photographer. In case you're wondering what flipped off was, I mean, I'm not familiar with that with a British turn of phrase. This seems like a news article that's been handed from an American news source directly to the Mail and Sunday and not really changed it that much. It's almost like they may as well say flipping the bird, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like she gave us the finger would be the British one, surely.
Yeah.
Anyway, y'all know what I'm talking about. So stepping out on Tuesday for the first time since firing and flipped off a photographer while keeping a low profile and cap and face mask as she headed into a Los Angeles office building. So there she is. Conservative actress and former MMA fighter was fired by Disney after she posted Instagram stories that Jews were beaten in the streets, not by Nazi soldiers but by their neighbors, even by children. The post continued, because history is edited, most people today don't realize to get to that point where Nazi soldiers could easily round on thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbours hate them simply for being Jews. How is that different from hating someone for their political views? First outing comes as Carano told former New York opinion columnist and editor Barry Weiss on Tuesday that she learned she'd been let go through social media like everyone else. New York Magazine writer Jonathan Chait, who is Jewish, came to Carano's defense in an essay saying her post was not anti-Semitic by any reasonable definition. He accused Hollywood of engaging in McCarthy-esque crusade against conservatives, comparing the current environment to the purges of alleged communist sympathizers in the 1950s. I like Ike. And that's the post there if you want to look at it. Also Tuesday, the Hollywood Reporter revealed that the toy manufacturer Hasbro has halted production of her Cara Dune action figure. Retailer Big Bad Toy Store told the outlet the Star Wars Black Series Cara Dune figure was released in 2020 and sold out not long after the inventory was received. Right. Hasbro planned for another production run, and we were accepting pre-orders for that production run. However, the toy retailer told THR.com that Hasbro is no longer approved to produce any more of Carano's Mandalorian figures. Hasbro did not immediately respond to the inquiry from DailyMail.com on Tuesday. The Cara Dune action figure was listed as collectible on Amazon, where it is being offered for more than $200 from a number of merchants. Crazy. A spokesperson for Lucasfilm said in a statement last Wednesday that Carano is not currently employed by the production company, with no plans for her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media post denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable, the statement read. Talent agent UTA has also dropped Carano as a client following the controversy, according to Variety. Carano on Friday confirmed her plan to start in a new film in collaboration with the Daily Wire, the right-leaning news and opinion website founded by conservative commentator Ben Shapiro. This is America.
That was from Pedro Pascal, wasn't it? Yeah.
That was Pedro Pascal. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, the Daily Wire is helping to make one of my dreams to develop and produce my own film come true, Carano told Deadline, which initially broke the news. I cried out, my prayer was answered. I am sending out a direct message of hope to everyone living in fear of cancellation by the totalitarian mob. They can't cancel us if we don't let them, she added. Disney on Tuesday was accused of double standards over Carano's firing after it emerged Mandalorian co-star Pedro Pascal compared ICE administration centers to Nazi concentration camps. But it has since emerged that in 2018, actor Pascal shared an image of Germany 1944 and what he said was America 2018. He wrote, "This is America." Cancel Disney Plus began to trend on Twitter shortly after Carano's firing, with many pointing to Pascal's comments of evidence of the company's hypocrisy when dealing with conservative stars. And there's lots of comments there from people and stuff, which we won't go into. So there you go.
Well, I'm going to miss that character. I thought she was great.
I will miss the character. Obviously, I haven't collected. Admittedly, I haven't collected any Black Series toys for a while, other than just Han Solo ones. So, because I'm just surrounded by Han Solo figures in here, of course. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He wants to dive in there. He wants to dive on that hot potato.
Oh, Christ, where do you start with this one? Right, I don't know. Go on, Andy. Well, I'm just going to say I thought Gina Carano was a wonderful person. I think a lot of it is like bullshit that's been said about her. I think anybody with a bit of nous can see what she posted wasn't what was reported. You know what I mean? And if it was what was reported, a Jewish person would not have hired her after the firing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, everyone's got a different opinion on this kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's happened. It is what it is. But you know, I guess we'll see what happens.
I hope she does well. I mean, all I can say about it is like, I wish her well for the future, and let's hope that she makes a really cool movie that does well.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, I thought it was a little bit sad, retrospectively, how some people kind of were online saying, well, yeah, I didn't think she was that great in it. Yeah, it was kind of the excuse. It was kind of the excuse to sort of say that you didn't think that much of the character anyway. And like, yeah, I'm the first kind of person who would say it would kind of slate people if I didn't think, you know, I thought they were a bit lame, but
yeah,
I thought she was good in it. Particularly in the second series there. You know, there was a great bit.
Apparently, she did have this series lined up afterwards, didn't she? The I can't remember the name of it now.
Rangers of the Republic.
There you go. I knew that'd get you back in.
Yeah, so that show. I wonder what's happening with that show then.
Well, who knows? Yeah, it could be.
What I was going to say, that what was the episode in the second series where she was in the sort of land in the land speeder thing.
That was awesome.
With Carl Weathers, and she's like kicking ass, and like I thought she was badass. That she was great.
Absolutely.
She was great. And you know, look, without getting into it, I don't want us to get into it because we're not going to get into it. You know, it's I think everybody.
It's such a controversial issue.
It's a controversial issue. Everybody.
No matter what side you take on this, you know, you're going to piss either side off.
Yeah.
And thing is, it would be nice to talk to each other about it, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And,
yes. Yeah.
But you can't these days for some reason, and that's really, really bad. But anyway, go on, Pat.
Yeah.
You were going to say?
I was going to say, like, it's I don't know. It's just like a shame that yes, somebody's differing opinion, whether you agree with that opinion or not, or you think it's an abhorrent opinion. I understand, feelings on both sides from that point of view. I just think it's a shame that, when these kind of things happen now in this environment, it's like, it's just, it's not that you're just fired from it, but it's like, it's almost like a kind of retrospective erasal of.
It's
like, we're stopping production of the toys and things like that. I kind of
didn't exist.
Exist.
Yeah.
It is sad, but it is what.
But they can't actually. They can do that, but the fans of that character obviously will not forget it.
No,
it's there on film.
Yeah.
I don't know. I suppose Disney could go back and get rid of Eraser from the series itself. I don't know.
Well, people have spoken from both sides, haven't they? There's people who totally agree with it and press to have her fired, and then there's people who have started petitions for her to come back. I suspect I know who will win, but just to come to another more important subject. Carl says, Matt, I think Carl wants to come in.
Yeah. Thanks, Carl.
Nice one, Carl. So yeah, I think moving right along. So I meant to ask you off air, Matt, about.
Hello. What did I miss?
Oh, sorry. You don't have your headphones in. I meant to ask you off air about that chap we were talking to before. Will he be joining us next week? We're not sure yet.
Yes, he will. Yeah.
Okay.
So next week we will be talking to Kamran Pasha, who is he works in and around Hollywood. He's done a lot of writing for different TV shows in Hollywood and has a lot of insights into how the wheels and cogs turn in Hollywood. So that will be an interesting chat indeed.
Oh, excellent. Looking forward to that. That's another thing. It's a little bit of Bounty Hunter related news that you may enjoy here. In fact, I'm not going to be able to bring it up on the screen at the same time. Just a minute. Let me just see if I can share that with you, Matt, and then you can pull it up. I think you'll enjoy this. This rounds things off nicely since we were talking about Bossk and we've discussed the Mandalorian and such like. Yeah, have you got that there?
Just having a bit of technical difficulties.
Okay, well, I'll go anyway with it. This is taken from StarWarsNews.net. That's Boba Fett returns in War of the Bounty Hunters Marvel event. Boba Fett, have you got that there now? Yeah, okay, cool. Boba Fett is fighting to hold on to his prize in War of Bounty Hunters, a major crossover in Marvel Comics starting this May. This massive event from Marvel Comics will run from May through October, kicking off with War of the Bounty Hunters Alpha #1 from writer Charles Soule and artist Steve McNiven on May the 5th, and will then continue through the entire line of Marvel Star Wars comic books, including Star Wars Bounty Hunters, Darth Vader, and Dr. Aphra. A 5-issue War of the Bounty Hunters miniseries from Soule and artist Luke Ross forms the crux of the story that begins in June. That looks pretty badass. Look, there's I don't know if that is Han, but it's certainly somebody in carbonite. Precious cargo. It says prelude, precious cargo. There you go. That looks pretty badass. The main story that we're dealing with is Boba Fett's focused crime epic that involves Boba Fett going up against some of the heaviest hitters in the galaxy. It's Jabba the Hutt, it's Black Sun, it's Darth Vader, and a bunch of others, factions and so on. I think it will be really interesting for fans. Soule said it's basically Boba Fett by himself against all these people. Oof. Sounds badass. I think that's what we kind of want that's kind of what we want the Boba Fett. The Book of Boba Fett. The Boba Fett spin-off to be, really. Yeah. As a spin-off from Mando.
Yeah.
They did tease that, right? Am I wrong, Andy? Did they?
Yeah, at the end. You mean at the end of the credits in Mandalorian 2? Yeah. You see him take the throne of Jabba off. Off. What's he called?
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, the aide of Jabba.
Portly Bib Fortuna.
Yeah. Been eating too much tuna.
Yeah, he has too many greasy frogs.
I don't know. I heard you don't look like that eating too much tuna.
No, true. But I did read that he got his name because I'm not sure it was George or somebody on set. Anyway, had a kid who had a bib for when they ate tuna. This is the bib for tuna.
I've heard that before, and I've heard it was something to do with Richard Marquand, who directed it.
Right.
Yeah. So I've read that story before as well. Yeah.
Bib for tuna.
I don't know where I read it though.
Bib for ravioli. Bib for spaghetti.
I did get a bit excited then when you mentioned the Black Sun. They're the crime organization that work with the Empire in Shadows of the Empire novel, and they're in the Clone Wars. Oh no, they're in Rebels. You see, it's not actually Prince Shizor, I think you pronounce him. He's the villain in the Shadows of the Empire novel who tries to seduce Princess Leia, and he uses these special drugs or something to try, and it doesn't work because she's just thinking about Han.
Right.
Obviously.
Of course. I don't think he succeeds. But yeah, he's
either thinking about Han or me. That's one or the other.
Yeah. But I've always been interested in the Black Sun since that novel, and then the game came out, and it was the Black Sun were in it, and I was like, it's just nice to see somebody else causing chaos for the Rebel Alliance in the galaxy that isn't the Empire. So more Black Sun for me, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Excellent.
Yeah, that sounds brilliant.
That'll be fun. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Lovely stuff. Is there anything else we need to discuss this evening? I think we've covered just about everything.
I think that's about everything for tonight.
There's the Cassian artwork that dropped.
Oh yes.
Oh shit. Yes. Right. We've got 10 minutes. We've got if we go by the standard of all the shows we've done recently, we're kind of hitting a sweet hour and a half spot now. So
I'll keep it concise if I talk.
I promise. No, you won't. No, you won't, Sandy. You love a bit of
fire through these if you like, and
I'm very excited about this.
I'll tell you what.
So these images come from Paul Bateman on Facebook. He posted them on Facebook. Where he got them from, I don't know, but these are obviously he works down in Pinewood Studios and all this sort of stuff. So he gets first-hand knowledge. So,
Yes. So you continue setting this up.
One or two of these images have been released before.
I've got them saved on my desktop, so I'm gonna.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I did. Anyway. Oh yeah. So this is on the fly, folks. I completely forgot about this. Right? Yes, I found them. It's fine. So yeah. So these are going to be concept arts from Andor. Oh god damn it! They're just not. This is a tricky one. Where were they shared? Sorry, on Facebook or?
You mean with you? They're in the chat.
Chat. I know they're in the chat, but I did save them onto my desktop, but it doesn't seem to be. Oh no, it's working now. It's fine. I've got to load them into StreamYard first, you see. So let's kick off with image 1. You're going to get a bit of us as well.
I thought that is awesome.
It is. It looks badass.
It
does look beautiful. So
they've even got a car park in the distance for all the workers.
Have you played? Sorry, Paddy, go on.
Sorry, go on. The innocents, the contractors of the Empire. That's where they're all parking. Sorry, go on.
These shots that painted there looks very familiar to people who've played Fallen Order. You start Calcatus, if that's his name, going around the junkyards, and Castis is that. There's these Star Destroyers, and he's on one and trying to clean things up and salvage parts for the Empire. And they're actually carrying that on with in the second to last episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian. We see Bill Burr's character, and he's doing the same thing.
That's right.
Going through junk and everything. Then Cara Dune picks him up and takes him to Slave One, etc. So it looks like there's probably loads of these excess ships and parts from the Clone Wars. So it's pretty cool to see. But a little bit of a.
I was going to say that is a like a prequel era ship, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Republic Star Destroyer. Is it Venator? They're called Venators.
Venators, yeah.
The weird thing is, in terms of continuity, we see that there, which is fair enough. It works with continuity. But the Revenge of the Sith bothers me at the end. They're that design, but they're grey. The one that Vader and the Emperor on at the end. I'm like, so you've just done Order 66, and every Star Destroyer's had a paint job already. What? So yeah. I'm glad they've left the prequel design on there. The paint
because the Force.
Because it's a great plot device. The Force.
It's because the Force. So that's that one. That looks beautiful. I love that.
Yeah,
that looks great. Then we've got this.
That shot would cost a lot of money to do.
Yeah. This is kind of around the street scene stuff we saw the other week, isn't it?
This does look like that street scene, doesn't it, with the sort of arches there and stuff like that. Yeah. So this is down in near London, where they're filming this bit.
Yeah, and this kind of it has a Tatooine vibe, but I'm not certain it's Tatooine, is it?
No, it's got that
Disney-
vibe, that Star Warsy planet vibe. Yeah.
Please stay away from Tatooine. I'm sick of going to Tatooine.
Well, the thing is, Disney quite like doing desert planets now that aren't Tatooine as well. It's like
They do.
So we need a desert planet. Okay, yeah, but it's calling something different, So that's that. This was the one that made me the most excited, to be honest, and you probably know why.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh my god, that looks so Blade Runner.
It does.
It's raining, neon lights, rooftop, lone man, hooded, 3/4 length jacket. I'm there.
Checkered.
I'm in.
Yeah. It looks great.
I'm
Very
sold,
excited.
baby. I'm sold, baby. Love that. This looks like some kind of this is where we're going to attack. What's interesting?
There's an Imperial stood there behind it. Oh, it could be
That's what I'm
somebody.
going to say.
Could be somebody in disguise, like ready for a mission.
Yeah, it could be. But that is interesting. Yeah, that was the interesting thing, isn't it? It's like, is he doing the what are you, a triple agent? Is he doing that kind of thing? Or
Could be.
And that looks like a dam they're looking at or something. So you might have a dam busters mission.
That'd be
flying low and drop the bomb.
Drop the bouncing laser.
Yeah.
So here we go. Here's another shot. Some TIE
I'm
fighters.
sold. That's my sold.
Is that your sold?
I'm so easy to please. It's just like, stick a TIE fighter in there and I'm done.
Yeah.
It's just because I want more.
Me, I'm done.
Yeah. It's just seeing more of the Empire and exploring the Empire more than just the antagonist of the original trilogy. It's very interesting to see.
Well, I mean, this is my favorite era of Star Wars.
Sure.
And the sort of rebels against the Empire. Yeah. This is
the Galactic Civil War.
Yeah,
also, are those Star Destroyers in the clouds? You can see some things creeping through there.
Oh, could be.
And if you look at the shape above the sun in the center at the top, it does look like the edge of a Star Destroyers as well.
Star Destroyer porn. I was going to go.
And that could be filmed up on the tops, Paddy, pots and pans or something.
It does. It looks like pots and pans.
Yeah.
If you've no idea what we're talking about, you're not from Saddleworth. So, but no, what kind of excited me was they've got a real sort of Native American thing going on with the costumes.
Yeah,
it's almost like an Inuit sort of.
Are we having a Dances with Wolves in Star Wars?
Mate, that would sell me.
Animal skin coats going on.
Yeah, exactly. Let's have a bit of.
Paddy wants Costner in Star Wars. I mean, who wouldn't? Costner's great.
Paddy wants Costner in Star Wars.
Costner should be a Jedi Master.
That would be awesome. I'm a Jedi Master. God damn it.
I can't see him working as a Jedi, but something else.
Something else would work. But like that made me excited. I was like, is it kind of, are they in disguise, or have they had to, like, they've been stuck on a planet for a long time, they've had to learn from some native people to
blending in with the natives while
keep warm and all that stuff. Yeah, that's got potential there. I'm intrigued about who's the new female character is, because I'm assuming that's the same girl.
Yeah,
possibly.
So that could be the new. Shoot me, because I can't remember the main female character's name. Jyn Erso. Yeah, is that the new Jyn Erso in the Andor series? And then we've got him in what looks like an
A-wing or something. It'll be. Yeah, well, it's got that A-wing sort of cockpit, hasn't it? But the engine.
It looks like it's on the ground. I think it's a speeder.
Yeah, or it could be a prequel. It looks like it's crashing. All the glass is broken. Could be a prequel type ship like this.
Now this is pod racing.
Could be some Andor pod racing. You never know.
Yeah, imagine all the bugs flying through the cockpit there, getting sort of Dumb and Dumber. Not Dumb and Dumber. me, myself, and Irene vibes, where he gets the flies.
Dead flies on your teeth.
Yeah.
How do you tell the happy Star Wars pilot in a broken cockpit? He's got dead flies on his teeth. Now, this kind of excited me a bit because I was like, this gives me Tron vibes.
Yeah.
This is what is this place? This is like, are these like computer stations?
Are they computer stations? Or I was like proper excited. These like clone pods or
Well, I thought that at first.
Stasis cells or something like that.
Yeah, because I thought there might have been liquid in there reflecting.
Yeah.
But then I thought, when I looked up, if you look at the next level up to the right, there's a little doorway that you walk into. So are these like? Is this like a big office? Where they're all at desks, the computer panels.
It's a Star Wars office.
If you look at
mouse droid, like I don't know.
You've got two ITO interrogator droids there from the ones that interrogate Princess Leia in A New Hope.
Oh yeah, they're flying across the
so they would. Why would you have two of them patrolling? Maybe these are slaves in these little booths doing work that the Empire want them to.
Ready to get their little injection.
It also gives you Clone Wars thingy vibes, Attack of the Clones, where all the clones are like being taught.
Yeah. But at this point, the clones are no more, right? So
there's some still around. In Legends, the clones went because they had growth acceleration. They all died. They all got old quite quick before the original trilogy.
It's not Geonosis, is it? What's it called?
Camino.
Yeah. Yes.
But we haven't had an official canon explanation for the clones. If we have, it's passed me by.
Yeah, I think it was skirted over. And then we've got then we've just kind of got an Andor image, basically.
Very cool shot.
Yeah.
You see the troopers in the background.
I'm James Bond.
What kind of troop is that?
I thought you make a good James Bond. You really think so?
If you look behind, you can see the trooper in that image again, Paddy. If you want to bring it back up.
Stormtroopers.
Oh, Christ,
so the helmet I recognise in the background, unless he's got his arm in front of his face. Or is that?
I think that's a Stormy.
It's another Stormtrooper.
That's a Stormy for my money.
No,
I think.
Just the helmet looks a bit funny. I don't know. Could be.
I think there's some smoke in front of him.
I think one of his shoulders got a pauldron on.
I mean, at the end of the day, they could reintroduce another Stormtrooper for toy sales. I mean, probably will.
Yeah.
Not to be cynical or anything, but they will.
Yeah.
So they look good. I mean, that does get me hyped up for Andor. It really does.
Very. Yeah. I want it now.
Give it to me.
Yeah, baby. Very exciting. Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. When have we got a release date?
No.
End of this year.
Oh, really? Good.
Is it? I think so. I think that's what I heard.
Imagine the last shot of season 1, it's just the Vader silhouette.
No. It's Book of Boba Fett end of this year, isn't it?
Yes. I don't think Andor's got that quick a turnaround, surely.
No. Well, Andor's the one that's coming out first because that's the one they've already been filming.
Right, we're going to have to look into this.
Cassian can interact with Vader, confirmed. Yes. There's nothing happens in Rogue One that stops that.
No.
They don't interact in the film at all, do they?
Very true.
So.
Very true. Well, research for next week, folks. We'll come back to you on that one.
Yeah.
So I think that just about wraps it up, doesn't it, guys?
It does.
Yeah.
Well, lovely stuff.
Special guest next week.
Special guest next week. I've also got, and just to kind of key you guys up on some of the features that we've got planned. Obviously, we've got Force Focus. We generally do have guests on of a nature whereby that they've been involved in the Star Wars universe, or in some way. we want to be a bit more inclusive about fandom. Like, obviously, we do have our lovely viewers who tune in and leave us comments and stuff like that. As we've explained before, you can be sent a link and invited onto the show. But what we're going to do is actually pre-arrange for some fans to come on and talk to us about what their particular area of fandom is, what their passion, what their sort of corner of the Star Wars universe versus their most passionate thing. And that is going to be called Fan Focus. So I've got one fan lined up who's also used his fandom for very positive gains, doing stuff for charity, etc. With the passion that the Star Wars universe has given him. So if any of you out there would like to talk about your particular area of Star Wars fandom, like, you know, for Andy, obviously, it would be the music, and like the posters. For me, it would be the autographs, you know, the artwork, the posters, the toys, just like Matt, the same, the toys, the lore, etc. If you want to come on and jive with us about what your particular passion within the Star Wars universe is, then drop us a line and let us know about that, and we'll invite you on, and we'll do a four-header, a quadruple trident, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah,
Come on in.
come on in
and talk about Star Wars.
Come on in. The stream is
Everybody's welcome.
Everybody is welcome. Yes, everybody's. I was going to say everybody's welcome except everyone who's involved in Solo, but I didn't mean that.
Absolutely no Last Jedi fan. No, I'm only kidding.
No, we actually do welcome a Last Jedi fan to debate us properly. That'd be
No,
really,
you don't.
Really?
No, you don't.
I
I get slaughtered if I bring up the Last Jedi and my like for it.
No, we're going to take it easy on you from now on, Andy.
Too late.
So,
It's too late.
Good night. Good night. Good night, everybody. May the force be with you.
Good night. See you next week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.